welcome back if you're joining me for another video. If you're joining me for the first time, hello! I have in front of me something which I have been wanting to do for a while, but I'm always stuck in mummy business and finally have some free time. Yay! So these are miniature dollhouse rooms. Accessory kits, basically. They're the kits to make the little rooms. They have all these miniature items. You make it and put it together, so it's a great thing to do with your kids. Older kids, of course, because it does have small items, and it will be including scissors to cutting and glue for use. I have picked the room on the back here. I'll bring that out of the spotlight so you can see it. It is a sofa at the front, a little bed, a little piano, and I just thought this one was a really cute room. As what I'm going to do with it, and I have seen other YouTubers who have done this, is I'm going to theme my room. So I'm going to change bits about it to be a Pokemon room. Now I've seen this also done by other YouTubers, but the ones I've seen generally tend to focus around Pikachu and he's so popular, and they were absolutely gorgeous. My daughter has picked a material out, which I'll show soon after I show the contents of the box, that I'm going to make my Pokemon room around girly. I don't like using the word girly or boy type Pokemon, but generally about pink Pokemon. Let's open it up and have a look. Okay, so I've opened up the contents. I can tell these are the floors and wall pieces over here. There's little furniture accessory pieces that obviously need to be put together in these other bags. Here are the detailing, I guess you could use, the fabrics, the pots for flowers. Looks like some electrical wiring there. You can hook it up to have a light turn on in it. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do that yet because I'm not very electrical orientated. I'll probably end up making a fire or something. Mummy things. So they've got the B and C bags here. I'm thinking the A's are the template pieces that you use because these have A's on them. And at the back of this there is these wall pieces that you can cut out and floor pieces. But as I said, my daughter has picked a material for a Pokemon. This is a surprise for her. She doesn't know I'm doing this, but I asked her, I brought her to a store, asked her what Pokemon material she liked the most, and this is what she picked. So I'm gonna say it's a very girl orientated fabric in the pinks and purples. I know there are boys out there that like pink. My son likes pink and he's a boy. But this is what she chose, and so I am going to do my room based around pinks and purples without making it look too gaudy, because too much pink and too much purple can make it look a bit too gaudy. Sylveon here is what my daughter is cosplaying this year, so that's a really cool outfit to look out for. We'll put that video up when she gets her outfit sorted. Okay, so next I've got pink and purple craft paper, specifically scrapbooking type paper. I've got this one called the Black Currant, which has a range of purples and blacks in it, so I'll go through that and see what I want to combination with this pink one here to make the room all tie into this pink purple feel without being too over the top gaudy, because if you go too much into pinks and too much into purples, you can make a room look a bit. And there are also plain colored papers that I'm going to use. If you're using the ones from the kit, it is in a gloss, and I'm not really into the gloss paper. So let's have a look at making the bed first. Okay, so hashtag mummy brain. She gets through all the pieces and goes to the book and to read the instructions. I don't know if it's Chinese or Japanese, but the entire book is in this Asian writing, which is fair enough. They made it. But I'm not going to be able to read the instructions. So I'm going to use the pictures and hope I'm doing it right. Wish me luck. Okay, so the first thing they want that I'm going to modify is on the headboard there is a material backing piece which is puffed up. They have provided this material to use. I'm going to use my Pokemon material. I'm going to have to try it. It's very, very small. You can see by the power of my hand, these are quite small pieces, so this is definitely an older child craft, a child who has a lot of patience. I'm going to see if I can fit at least one of the Pokemon faces in there. Wish me luck. So here I've done this little Pokemon face that I got off the material with a little edging around the headboard. I think it's turned out really well. I'm hoping the rest of the bed goes just as well. It's very, very fiddly, but very rewarding. Next piece. Okay, so here is how the bed turned out. I put it together. It was very simple. Just a lot of glue, basically. Not too much sewing. There are some modifications I did. They basically have a blanket across with lace at the bottom. The material they used was this blue material with a matching plain blue. So that was their bed. I, of course, changed it to the Pokemon material that my daughter likes. Tried to get this Jigglypuff in the middle. It's slightly off to the side, but that's okay. And a pink sheet, and I also made it so it looked like the sheet was folded down over the top. I also didn't put a lot of pillows on it. I saw that in other videos, which that is kind of cute, but for me it made more sense to have one pillow and matching material at the front there, so you can still see the lovely Pokemon on the headboard. Really cute idea. So next I'm going to move on to the couch. Now in the couch is in the photo here. And by the way, the instructions are pretty easy to follow, even if they're in a different language. You just have to read what the code is for the item you need and work from that. Plus use a lot of sight, you know, because they have pictures for everything that you need. So a lot of looking and reading codes. So they have this green material for the couch, and I am going to do it in the same Pokemon material I've done with the bed. I'm going to get to it and see how it turns out. Okay, I've now finished the Pokemon couch. It was very fiddly. My hands are literally covered in glue. There are things I think I can improve on it when I'm doing these rooms again. Firstly, I think the edges, if I can get some sort of material to stop the fraying, and fine tooth scissors. I've been using a couple of just smiggle scissors, so nothing crafty. I can't very well use my sewing scissors because those things are a lot of money and I don't want glue on them. But this is the end result. I placed Sylveon in the middle. I did lace over the top like in the design, but their lace came quite far down, so I wanted Sylveon's face to be the predominant feature. I think I would actually sew the cushions. You can see here where the ends are, where the glues come together. It looks a tiny bit unnatural, so I would actually sew the cushions in the next one. But all in all, I think I've done a pretty good job for my first attempt. I now have a Pokemon couch to match the bed. Okay, so the next thing is making a little purple plant, which is going to match my room completely out of these supplied accessories. And there's a little instructions which I'm going to follow. This is going to be really cute in the room. I'm so glad it's purple. It's going to match my room completely. Okay, so as I was going through the decorating, I had a thought. I really need to set the base colors of this room. I'm going obviously with purples and pinks with my furniture and trying to incorporate it all into my little pieces that I'm making. Trying to follow the same theme. But I really need to know what my wallpaper is going to be. So I love on their piece, if you see here, this is where I'm going to put some pictures and the shelving, etc. They have this striped pattern, most of the wall, and then a small decorated piece at the top. So I think that's really cute. So I wanted to keep through that, and I went through about 6 of my scrapbooking ones to find something. Now I wanted to find something that had pinks in it but no purples, because my purple is going, if I put purple on my wall, it's going to dominate the entire room. So I wanted to bring a bit more of the pink out. So I found this very light pink floor covering, which to me looks like a carpet. It's got like a sort of a texture, like an old worn texture to it that makes it look like it's carpet. I tried to find a flocked piece of paper. I know I do have flocked pieces of paper in there somewhere, but this goes so well and came from the same book as these two, so all the colors follow on. So I want to bring in to it little touches of this medium brown, like I'm going to paint down here medium brown, so it all ties in. But this is what my room's going to be in. I'm going to get that ready and I'll show it on camera. Wish me luck. Okay, so it's the next day. I let it dry overnight. This is what I ended up doing. So much like their one where it is, as I pointed out, a two-tone, except I've done it in the colors that make me happy. I actually used their bottom layer of tiling, because when I looked at that peach tiling, it actually went with some of the peaches in here, and I thought that's really cute. And I'll do the upper floor in this carpet kind of paper. However, just to show the difference between good quality paper and other paper, you can see here, this is lovely and flat. There's no bends or creases or mistakes in it, whatever. It's right up to the line. This one here, wherever there has been a bit of glue missed or not sticking right, there is a bubble. So I'm going to have to get a pin with glue and slide it into there to get these little bubbles out of this tiling. So just showing the difference between nice thick paper and little paper. However, I think that the colors of the room have come up amazing. I love it. On to the next step. Okay, just a progress report on how I'm going. I have the second level in, as you can see, and I think I made the right decision putting the tile floor in, as I think it goes really well. It's got all the colors in here. The purples, the pinks, the browns, the pinks, and then it's also got peaches. You see that line there, like a peach in, and the white railing is in. I think it's really going well. I'm really happy with this. I'm hoping that the purple will tie in as I think it will. I didn't want the room to be overbearing purple, so I'm just crossing fingers that it's going to go really well. Or I might have to add a little this on a few things. Alright, back to it. Alright, we have some of the furniture and little accessories going in. I've made a few plants from before. I made this little teacup, which I thought was absolutely gorgeous and so clever. It's just a couple little a sequiny like thing and a little flower shaped thing. And then a little wire handle off the side. So I've got my couch in here and I've got my bed in and my table. I've decided I'm not going to do the electronic side. To be quite honest, my kids have so many battery toys. I don't need another thing that takes batteries. I've put in the little light because I think it's really, really cute up there. You can see that the room is progressing. I am undecided on the curtains. I know I like the picture. I've cut that out down here. But I'm undecided if these are going to go up. They most likely are, to offset purple on this side of the room to that side of the room. I'm going to see how they look with the thrill at the top, because I think these look very chunky. And I don't know if I like them. But I'm going to keep powering on, and I hope you like it so far. I've got all these, well, not all, a heap, but I've got some of the remint Pokemon things to decorate the room a little when I'm finished. Getting back to it. Okay, a bit more progress. You'll recognize this window here from the original walling that they provided. I actually really like this picture. Now, the stuff they provided was gloss, so to me it looks like it's more of a window than my excuse me, than plain printed picture that I had. And on top of that, it is a really cute picture to go with my theme. It has this blue in the background to signify, you know, like the mountains and the sky, because there's no blue in my room really. So I like that there's a little introduction of a different color there. And then it has the pink flowers all over the field, which definitely goes with my entire pink Pokemon theme so far. It's coming together well. Now, the curtains were quite chunky to make. They are really chunky, and I almost ripped them out completely and just went with bare windows on each side. But I got it to work on this side so it doesn't stick out too much. I've actually glued and pressed them back as far as I can so they don't look that chunky in the room. However, on this side, when I put them in, they came into about here, and they really closed the room up. Like, they made the room quite small, and I almost considered moving my Pokemon bed to be the centerpiece in that room, but then it looked like there was the end of the bed is pretty much up with the railing and no one can get past it, so that looks silly too. So I have decided not to put any curtains on this window whatsoever. It's a nice big window, and it can just be free. It can be like a little peephole from the side. I've changed the table from the picture. I think I showed it in the last one, but I've changed the table, the sofa and the table around so that the sofa is closer to here to offset. If you look in the picture, everything's over here, and they're offsetting it with a piano here. I don't want a piano. I'm making it a Pokemon room, not a music room. However, there is something really cool in the instructions. You can actually turn it, there's a little hole down here, and through this area here, it's an optional extra. You can turn it into a music box room, which I thought was super duper cute. I didn't realize that at all. I can't read the instructions, so. But I saw it in the instructions, and it was just super duper duper cute. So getting back to this, I am going to make so I haven't put the electrical in, but I've got the light in. I am going to make a Pokemon mat for here. I'm undecided if I want to put the shelving. They have the shelving above on this picture here, they have the shelving above the bed. I think that's a really silly idea. I don't know how many people have shelving above their headboards, but it could fall on you. And I'm trying to make it look like a room a little girl could live in, and it's very dangerous to have little glass things above your head in a room. So I almost considered not putting the light in, but putting the light over here coming down over the bed and doing the shelving across here. But nope, I've decided that all this room really needs right now is a carpet and then a few Pokemon accessories just to give it that whole Pokemon theme. So I'm going to finish off the room and get some pictures on the wall, get the carpet done. You have to excuse my voice, I have a cold. And come back when I'm going to put in the little Pokemon accessories. I hope you like how it's going so far. Okay, so I'm making the picture frames, and just to show how I'm doing that, I actually cut out the pictures from the wall that they gave, stuck them behind the Pokemon material lined up with something I actually wanted on the wall, and then put the wood behind it. So it's quite solid because it's got the paper, the material, and then the wood. So then they're going to go on the wall. So that's how I did those. I'm undecided if I want to print out teeny tiny Pokemon yet. That to me is getting a bit unnecessary. I might just do these books up and put them on the shelf. I'm undecided yet. And to make the carpet, I just cut out one of these large circles. I cut it out, and then not to make it too gluey looking, I got a rag piece of material, stuck the glue on it, and then spread it very lightly. It was actually the most hair-raising part of making it so far, in that I knew with this awesome glue I used, because I could not make a mistake putting this in, it would make the floor look awful, and it's going to get stuck instantly because it was so thin. It went on well. Woohoo! And I might put another one down here, so I might have another teeth clenching moment. If I rip it up after I put it on, it's going to rip the entire floor apart. So This might be a pokey fail soon. Getting back to it. Alright, here is the finished room. I'm really excited with it. It is my first try at one of these DIY dollhouse rooms and basically taking one of these things and editing it to how I want. There are things that I changed in the room. There are things that I kept exactly the same. I have to say, these kits are a heap of fun. Now, this is how the room was meant to look right here. So it was meant to be very flowery, or flowers on the wall. It was meant to have a piano, which I tried incorporating it into this room. It looked really, really weird. Like, I mean, it looked like a white blob over in the corner, which I did not like at all. So it was like a little girl's room, a very flowery little girl's room. I wanted to make a little girl's Pokemon room. I've seen these done by, as I think I said at the start, I've seen these done by YouTubers before. I thought they were super cute, but they went more the Pikachu route, which is very much the remint style. It's all these Pikachus, and you can see I had different ones. So I was actually going to use like other Pokemons like Rowlet and Snorlax sort of items. But my room was so much smaller than their rooms, so I must have got a teeny tiny room, which is kind of cool, but it worked out. Now, I was going to put Pokeballs out of Fimo clay all across the top there, but when I did it, it actually took away from the loveliness of the room. Like, I incorporated some other colors like green, and I kept the blue up here and stuff. It just made it look a little awkward. You can get it's a Pokemon room just from looking at it. I moved the furniture around to how I wanted it to be. I didn't put the piano in. See, I started making the piano, but when I put it over there, it looked like a huge white blob, and it kind of detracted from everything in the room. I thought it looked really awkward. I love these DIY dollhouse kits. I'm not gonna lie, I am definitely gonna be making another one. It was so much fun. The instructions, even though completely in a different language, were so incredibly easy to follow with the picture by picture instructions, and everything is labeled, so you can't go wrong on what you're doing. I'm just gonna go up and show some of the details I did here. Now, here is Sylveon and Jigglypuff in picture frames on the wall. I did not put a light into it, basically because we don't need it. I made all these little vials on the top shelf instead of Pokeballs. I was going to put Pokeballs up there. I decided that it was a little girl's room. I know my daughter plays with a Max Potion or something in her deck, so I was like, these look like little potion canisters, very Harry Potter-ish almost, and they're pink and white and gold and girly. I kept the books in different colors because I thought it was more natural, and more so than that, I was like, hey, oh, let me see if I can get it back into focus. Charmander, Pikachu, Venusaur. And I forgot I was meant to make the last book blue for Squirtle, the 4 original starting Pokemons, but I forgot. Then I kept this window open. See, I've put this wood is not meant to be here. This is actually just meant to be the printout. I put it over here because I thought it made it look better with the curtains. But I kept this as an open area so you can look in this way into the room, because I thought that was really, really cute, and my daughter actually liked it that way. Of course, I used Pokemon material on all my stuff, and then afterwards I used a fine-tooth scissors to go over everything to get away the frays. Of course, with the carpets, I used cutouts from the material. I really like that I got that little Pokemon because he's not shown anywhere else. There, I used little pink flowers there. Loved the background wallpaper. I think I did well with that because it incorporates with the white and the brown. You can see there's brown all across here and stuff. It kind of ties it in. There's I painted the downward step purple, little purple flowers here. I did not make the tall standing light switch. There is, this is what this piece is, a tall standing light, which is meant to be Sorry for the shadowing. I got my spotlights in an awkward position and I got a cold, so I don't feel like moving them. It's meant to be one there, and there is meant to be a little cat who's sitting around here somewhere. I didn't incorporate the cat, and I didn't incorporate the spotlight. I didn't actually think that it needed it down here. Down here I have the cup and another pot plant and another mat. Okay. So, let me know in the comments below what you think of my first try at a girly Pokemon dollhouse room. Now, I'm going to get a little La Loopsy to show you the size, and I'm also going to show you the size incorporated with a remint backpack. Yeah, but it's way too small for that, unless the child is going to have severe back pains later. Okay, I'll get a La Loopsy doll. Okay, so you can see that even for a La Loopsy doll, this room is teeny tiny. This is little PJ La Loopsy sleepover one, or she's got her PJs on here. Basically, her feet are sticking out the end of the bed, and yeah, she's bigger than the sofa. So it is a teeny tiny doll room. So my next one I want to try is one of the remint size ones. I don't want to do a Pokemon room. Let me know in the comments below if you have an idea what sort of dollhouse room I would like. If you like this, please give this a thumbs up. I really love this craft. It was so fun, especially while I've been sick. And my daughter, I was so happy when I gave it to her. She screeched. She was so excited. She thought it was so cute. I love that picture out there. Just show that. I'm really happy. Thanks very much for watching.